people that have this information, we're probably the only ones that are sharing it. And you know, Thomas and I, my friends who do this, are true Mercedes-Benz enthusiasts. We drive these cars, we love these cars, we depend on these cars every day, and so we hope that if you're not one of us yet, you'll eventually be lured into it. So back with us is this beautiful 75 280 SL, a rarity in the world of W107s because it has D-Jetronic injection, which was used on the earliest version of the 280 for 1974, 75, and 76. In 77, they changed the fuel injection system over. So, without further ado, here's what happens when you turn the key. The engine computer energizes the fuel pump, and this is what a D-Jetronic pump usually looks like. Some of the early ones had 3 lines in the front, but this is the common pump that is a line back here. The fuel flows through the check valve at the back of the pump, and consequently, if this fails, it can lead to some hot starting issues. And then next, it flows up to the fuel rail, up to where the fuel pressure regulator is. And the cold start injector, which the 4.5 also has in the front of its manifold, fires off, aiding starting. When you are checking to see if your D-Jetronic is on or not, you can just move the throttle a couple times with the ignition on, and if you hear a scraping sound, literally a those are the injectors firing off because of the movement of the throttle position switch, and this is a good indication that everything is working. Now, as you start the engine, the trigger points inside the distributor, which are literally located in the bottom of the distributor, the distributors have a basement that hides these points, and they are not the same as the ignition points, which this car also has. As the distributor turns round and round, the points are set off, and then the engine computer, which in the W107 is located under the right-hand side of the dash, as the points are fired off, the engine computer takes that signal and interprets it into an electrical impulse for each injector. The trigger points are fired off in pairs so that one point fires off 2 injectors. And the M110 version has 3 trigger points. The D-Jetronic version has 4 because you have 8 injectors. And in this case you have 6 injectors, so this one is going to have 3. Now, as the engine runs, this manifold vacuum hose here sends a signal to the map sensor, and the map sensor calibrates the mixture based on how much manifold vacuum there is. So of course this can change with altitude as well as outside temperature, or the way that you're even driving the car, or even how well your valves are adjusted. So keep those valves in check, of course. And the throttle switch, as you accelerate, the D-Jetronic computer takes the signal from this throttle switch and increases the amount of time the injectors are open compared to how hard you step on the throttle. When you push the throttle down for a split second, all of the injectors are opened at once, giving a blanket increase in the amount of fuel available in the manifold, and that's what gives you a smooth acceleration transition from one speed to another, especially when you bloop, step on it. For the longest time, manufacturers like AMC and DeSoto in the 1950s had tried an electronic injection system from Bendix, and it didn't work. And so the question people ask me is, why does this Mercedes system work so well? What is it that makes it work so beautifully? And really the truth is, in my opinion, not only are the components well designed and durable, but this engine and injection system thrive on having an excess of fuel available. So you can easily say that the reason it works so well is because every time you touch the gas, the engine is given a dearth of or an excess of fuel, and that keeps you from stumbling or bucking or hesitating due to lean running conditions. Typical problems with the injection system include difficult hot starting. And the way to fix that is to take this screw on the fuel pressure regulator and turn it in until you reach a fuel pressure rating of about 37 or 38 psi. Using the fuel line going to the cold start injector, you can plumb a fuel pressure gauge in there, and what it will do is monitor the fuel pressure as you screw this little adjuster inward. And that will usually cure or at least partially alleviate most hot starting issues. Some of the other issues involved may affect the computer, the injection trigger points. The injection trigger points will cause a bucking or missing sensation at idle and all the way through the power band if they're bad, except when you step on the throttle, then it'll suddenly go away, but then when you're cruising it will come back. Those points can be replaced as a separate unit. And finally, if you have excessive fuel consumption or surging or a loss of power at lower speeds, or when you're accelerating, the map sensor could potentially be the problem. And of course, you should never rule out a bad fuel pump. The fuel pump should deliver a liter of fuel every 30 seconds when hot. If it does not deliver that liter of fuel every 30 seconds, or something close to it, then you know that there is a fuel delivery issue, and then the car will never run or start as the factory intended it to. Anyway, that is the operation of Bosch D-Jetronic injection. And if you want to know more about how D-Jetronic injection works or what its secrets are, please don't hesitate to ask. We also would ask you to subscribe to our channel, and you know, it doesn't hurt either to think about giving us a small donation. We're going to set up a donation portal soon so that we can buy camera equipment and keep increasing the quality of the videos that we are producing. Also, if you have a product that you want us to review and you're a parts manufacturer, a tool manufacturer, we'll be happy to give it an unbiased review where we show it in use and test it in a real-world setting so that viewers who are interested in these cars don't have to go through the trouble of evaluating it for themselves. Thank you so much for watching our video on Bosch D-Jetronic fuel injection, and enjoy driving your Mercedes-Benz.